The Diners Club Winemaker of the Year Awards were recently held in Franschhoek, and CNBC Africa were fortunate enough to attend.
I am officially the CEO of Diners Club International, but I have some other responsibilities. And it's great to be here for the fabulous Winemaker of the Year event.
The wine industry is quite an important industry in the South African economy, both from a job creation perspective, but also because South Africa is one of the top 10 wine exporters in the world, and so it helps quite a lot in terms of our balance of payments. So clearly an important industry. For me, Diners Clubs, if one looks at the heritage of the business, it started out as a club for fine dining, and good food and good wine are inextricably linked. So the extension to wine, and therefore Winemaker of the Year, was a natural one.
I'm privileged enough to have been a judge for Diners Club Winemaker of the Year for I think about the last 14 years.
Our last estimation contributes more or less 2% to South African GDP. I think we're the number 7 biggest exporter of wine in the country. It's the employment numbers, I believe it's in the order of about 250,000 people that the South African wine industry employs. So not insignificant when you consider some of those numbers and the strain in the economy at the very minute. And it's a growing industry.
It's purity of fruit, it's clarity, and it's balance.
If you think about the way the brand works, it's all about those things in life that are part of your experience, your journey in life. So we get a lot out of representing something that's great in life, which is drinking wine.
This is my second year of having the absolute privilege of hosting the Diners Club Winemaker of the Year Awards. And I think probably one of my favorite elements of this event is the fact that La Résidence is such an extraordinary venue that you can't help, when you hear, feel that you're in a special place with special people, and it is a wonderful night. Diners Club, on the other hand, I just keep swiping that thing. And it's also a little piece of magic plastic. But Diners Club is such a fantastic such a fantastic company with amazing people that work for it. I think Ibrahim is an exceptional leader and a very charismatic man.
More importantly for me is we're a niche brand, right? We focus on high net worth individuals and on corporate customers, and for our customers in particular, good food and good wine are important.
There's so much gorgeous wine in the world, but I was just speaking in fact to Diane, who is out here from Discover in the States, and I really do think that there is enormously smart wine coming out of Napa. They have put so much into research and development that there is beautiful, beautiful wine. It's hugely expensive. And of course, you can never ever discount that delicious stuff that comes out of France. I'm a Francophile. I love French wine.
What I like in a good bottle of wine is easy drinking. I like non-pretentious, fun, wholesome, entertaining. So I entertain a lot, and I consume a fair amount of wine. And I think because I travel a great deal, I've got an amazing, huge love for rosés from the south of France, but I'm always utterly impressed whenever I'm at home in Cape Town and I open up a bottle of wine. I just, there's nothing that can beat it. I think South Africa is an unbelievable wine region. It's considered a new wine region, it's a new, similar to Chile in that they're new winemakers here. And I think, South Africa is the best place in the world.
A great wine is a wine that you take a sip of and you say, I love it, and I want more of it.
On balance, you're looking for that clean, pure fruit. You're looking for something that is hopefully going to appeal to the masses, because not everybody is crazy and mad and OCD about wine like the people inside the industry are. People are just looking for something that's really good and fun to drink.
I'm Muslim and therefore a teetotaler, but I appreciate wine as much as the next guy, and I appreciate the art in making wine. So I don't think one has to be a wine drinker to actually appreciate wine. But interesting, I've made significant investments, or I've spearheaded significant investments in the wine for Diners Club over the last 5 years. And being Muslim, it's been quite funny actually. I think clearly means that these are good business decisions because there's no bias involved, right?
Diners Club has been to my mind, and that's why I will continue to support them for everything that they do. They have been the single biggest, longest standing sponsor and supporter of the South African wine industry. They are amazing. 30 years and pouring money, and still Ibrahim's done an amazing job. He's now bought Platter Guide, he's got the Eat-Out. It's just an amazing, sustained interest in the wine industry. It's invaluable.
Well, the first category was the most innovative new wine on the South African market. And we won with a 1980s Zinfandel, which at that time wasn't very well known in South Africa. And the second year we won with a Cabernet, which is a straight Cabernet. Maybe one of the reasons why we won is we were fairly innovative. We were one of the first sellers to start with small barrel maturation, mostly French oak. Winemaking is a mixture of art and technology, and one's learning all the time.
It's hard work in making any wine, but Noble at Harvest, it doesn't happen easy, and that doesn't happen every year. You need specific climatic conditions, you need a specific vintage, so you work a lot with nature to produce a good Noble at Harvest. Basically, you have to leave the grapes to ripen very late on the vine, and not just to ripen, but if you want to get a little bit of botrytis, or how we call it, the noble rot, you need to have let's say, relatively cool, misty mornings, a bit of humidity in the vineyards, mist which will have to lift then towards lunchtime, and it mustn't be too hot either. And if any of those parameters are not achieved, then you're going from Noble at Harvest or Noble Rot to the Grey Rot or the Sour Rot, and instead of making a beautiful wine, you're going to make vinegar.
Then it was time to start announcing the winners of the evening, and first up was the Young Winemaker of the Year award, which went to Philip Fullion of Bon Courage, which won for their Noble Late Harvest.
Well, the wine I won with is our Noble Late Harvest 2015. To can win the competition, it's still quite, like a haze. It's still quite, someone have to pinch me.
I have to say I was so moved tonight by watching the Young Winemaker of the Year accept his award. You could just feel his passion and enthusiasm for his craft, and it's an art and it is a craft, and that is just exceptionally lovely.
I absolutely believe that you cannot make a great wine unless you don't have amazing grapes.
And as the evening progressed and more of the fabulous wines were paired with the food, the ultimate prize for Winemaker of the Year went to Johan Fourie of KWV.
I think this is a confirmation of what we've been busy with the last couple of years, 5 to 7 years. We've really reinvented the wheel, for a company that's been around for a while. We've really went back to the drawing board and went back to the basics and went back to the vineyards and really started focusing on quality and focusing on the individual vineyards and just upping our game right across the board. We at KWV are quite fortunate in that we work with fantastic grapes. We source our fruit from about all over the Western Cape, about a 600-kilometer radius. We buy from 72 grape growers that we've got long-term relationships and contracts with, and they plant grapes and varietals according to our specifications.
I think that's the trick. I think if you think about everything in life that's great, it's all about that collection of experiences, not about just doing things that no one else can do. Your life is a collection of your experiences, and Diners is all about making sure We're there along the journey with you as you create this great masterpiece of your life.
I'm going to host it forever until I'm like an old Joan Rivers. I think they're going to still be inviting me back because they know how much I love them and how much I love wine.
To me, it's just fabulous that Diners Club South Africa has supported the wine industry here for 30 years. Imagine if we could get all of our franchises around the world to do the same thing. And at the end of this great award season, we had a global winemaker of the year. Can you imagine how fabulous that would be?
As the award ceremony drew to a close, some of the guests danced the rest of the night away.